According to the CIA World Factbook, around 90 to 95% of Iranians associate themselves with the Shia branch of Islam, the official state religion, and about 5 to 10% with the Sunni and Sufi branches of Islam. The remaining 0.6% associate themselves with non-Islamic religious minorities, including Baha'is, Mandaeans, Yazdanis, Zoroastrians, Jews, and Christians. The latter three minority religions are officially recognized and protected, and have reserved seats in the Iran parliament. Zoroastrianism was once the majority religion, though today Zoroastrians number only in the tens of thousands. Iran is home to the second largest Jewish community in the Muslim world and the Middle East. Christianity, the second largest non-Muslim minority religion, has the largest annual growth rate of all religions. Baha'i faith, Iran's largest non-Muslim religious minority, is not officially recognized, and has been persecuted during its existence in Iran. The Iranian government does not officially recognize the existence of non-religious Iranians. This leaves the true representation of the religious split in Iran unknown, as all non-religious, spiritual, atheist, agnostic and converts away from Islam are likely to be included within the government statistic of the 99% Muslim majority. Sunnism was the predominant form theology before the devastating Mongol conquest, but subsequently Shi'ism became eventually utterly dominant in all of Iran and modern-day Azerbaijan with the advent of the Safavids. Islam. History. Islam has been the official religion and part of the governments of Iran since the Islamic conquest of Iran circa 640 AD. It took another few hundred years for Shia Islam to gather and become a religious and political power in Iran. In the history of Shia Islam, the first Shia state was Idrisid dynasty in Maghreb, a region of northwest Africa. Then the Alavids dynasty became established in Mazandaran, in northern Iran. The Alavids were the Zaydiyya Shia. These dynasties were local, but they were followed by two great and powerful dynasties. Fatimid Caliphate, which formed in Ifriqiya in 909 AD, and the Buyid dynasty emerged in Daylaman, in north-central Iran, about 930 AD, and then extended rule over central and western Iran and into Iraq until 1048 AD. The Buyid were also Zaydiyya Shia. Later Sunni Islam came to rule from the Ghaznavids dynasty, 975 to 1187 AD, through to the Mongol invasion and establishment of the Ilkhanate, which kept Shia Islam out of power until the Mongol ruler Ghazan converted to Shia Islam in 1310 AD and made it the state religion. Although Shias have lived in Iran since the earliest days of Islam, and there had been Shia dynasties in parts of Iran during the 10th and 11th centuries, according to Mortaza Motahari, the majority of Iranian scholars and masses remained Sunni till the time of the Safavids. However, there are four high points in the history of Shia in Iran that expanded this linkage. First, the migration of a number of persons belonging to the tribe of the Ash'ari from Iraq to the city of Qum towards the end of the 7th century AD, which is the period of establishment of Imami Shi'ism in Iran. Second, the influence of the Shiite tradition of Baghdad and Najaf on Iran during the 11th to 12th centuries AD. Third, the influence of the school of Hilla on Iran during the 14th century AD. Fourth, the influence of the Shi'ism of Jabal Amil and Bahrain on Iran during the period of establishment of the Safavid rule. In 1501, the Safavid dynasty established 12th Islam as the official state religion of Iran. In particular, after Ismail I captured Tabriz in 1501 and established Safavid's dynasty, he proclaimed 12th Shi'ism as the state religion, ordering conversion of the Sunnis. The population of what is nowadays Azerbaijan was converted to Shi'ism the same time as the people of what is nowadays Iran, although conversion was not as rapid as Ismail's forcible policies might suggest. The vast majority of those who lived in the territory of what is now Iran and Azerbaijan did identify with Shi'ism by the end of the Safavid era in 1722. As most of Ismail's subjects were Sunni, he enforced official Shi'ism violently, putting to death those who opposed him. Thousands were killed in subsequent purges. In some cases entire towns were eliminated because they were not willing to convert from Sunni Islam to Shia Islam. Ismail brought Arab Shia clerics from Bahrain, Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon in order to preach the Shia faith. Ismail's attempt to spread Shia propaganda among the Turkmen tribes of eastern Anatolia prompted a conflict with the Sunnite Ottoman Empire. Following Iran's defeat by the Ottomans at the Battle of Cholduran, Safavid expansion fasted, and a process of consolidation began in which Ishmi sought to quell the more extreme expressions of faith among his followers. While Ismail I declared Shi'ism as the official state religion, it was in fact his successor, Tahmasp, who consolidated the Safavid rule and spread Shi'ism in Iran. After a period of indulgence in wine and the pleasures of the harem, he turned pious and parsimonious, observing all the Shiite rites and enforcing them as far as possible on his entourage and subjects. Under Abbas I, Iran prospered. Succeeding Safavid rulers promoted Shia Islam among the elites, and it was only under Mullah Muhammad Baqir Majlisi, court cleric from 1680 until 1698, that Shia Islam truly took hold among the masses. Then there were successive dynasties in Iran: the Afsharid dynasty, Zand dynasty, the Qajar dynasty. There was a brief Iranian constitutional revolution in 1905–11 in which the progressive religious and liberal forces rebelled against theocratic rulers in government who were also associated with European colonialization and their interests in the new Anglo-Persian Oil Company. The secularist efforts ultimately succeeded in the Pahlavi dynasty. The 1953 Iranian coup d'état was orchestrated by Western powers, which created a backlash against Western powers in Iran, and was among the background and causes of the Iranian Revolution to the creation of the Islamic Republic. From the Islamization of Iran, the cultural and religious expression of Iran participated in the Islamic Golden Age from the 9th through the 13th centuries AD. For 400 years, this period was across Shia and Sunni dynasties through to the Mongol governance. Iran participated with its own scientists and scholars. Additionally, the most important scholars of almost all of the Islamic sects and schools of thought were Persian or lived in Iran, including most notable and reliable hadith collectors of Shia and Sunni like Sheikh Sadduq, Sheikh Kulani, Muhammad al-Bukhari, Muslim ibn al-Hajjaj and Hakim al-Nishaburi. The greatest theologians of Shia and Sunni like Sheikh Tusi, al-Ghazali, Fakhr al-Din al-Razi and al-Zamakhshari. The greatest Islamic physicians, astronomers, logicians, mathematicians, metaphysicians, philosophers and scientists like al-Farabi and Nasir al-Din al-Tusi, the sheikhs of Sufism like Rumi, Abdul Qadir Gilani, all these were in Iran or from Iran. And there were poets like Hafiz who wrote extensively in religious themes. Ibn Sina, known as Avicenna in the West, was a polymath and the foremost Islamic physician and philosopher of his time. Hafiz was the most celebrated Persian lyric poet and is often described as a poet's poet. Maulana Rumi's importance transcends national and ethnic borders even today. Readers of the Persian and Turkish language in Iran, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Afghanistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan see him as one of their most significant classical poets and an influence on many poets through history. In addition to individuals, whole institutions arose. Nizamiyat were the medieval institutions of Islamic higher education established by Nizam al-Mulk in the 11th century. These were the first well-organized universities in the Muslim world. The most famous and celebrated of all the Nizamiyya schools was al-Nizamiyya of Baghdad, where Nizam al-Mulk appointed the distinguished philosopher and theologian, al-Ghazali, as a professor. Other Nizamiyya schools were located in Nishapur, Balkh, Herat and Isfahan. While the dynasties avowed either Shia or Sunni, and institutions and individuals claimed either Sunni or Shia affiliations, Shia-Sunni relations were part of Islam in Iran and continue today. When Ayatollah Khomeini also called for unity between Sunni and Shia Muslims. Shia Islam. Today Islam is the religion of 99.6% of Iranians, of which approximately 89% are Shia, almost all of whom are 12ers. The Shia groups have distinctions between 5er, 7er and 12er, derived from their belief in how many divinely ordained leaders there were who are descendants of the Islamic prophet Muhammad through his daughter, Fatima, and his son-in-law, Ali. These imams are considered the best source of knowledge about the Quran and Islam, the most trusted carriers and protectors of Muhammad's sunnah, and the most worthy of emulation. In addition to the lineage of Imams, 12ers have their preferred hadith collections, the 4 books, which are narrations regarded by Muslims as important tools for understanding the Quran and in matters of jurisprudence. For 12ers, the lineage of Imams are known as the 12 Imams. Of these Imams, only one is buried in Iran, at the Imam Reza shrine, for Ali ar-Rida, who lived from 765–818 AD. Before any Shia dynasties arose in Iran, the last Imam recognized by 12ers, Muhammad al-Mahdi, was born in 868 AD as the Alavids spread their rule in Iran while in conflict with al-Mu'tamid, the Abbasid Caliph at the time. Several Imams are buried in Iraq, as sites of pilgrimage, and the rest are in Saudi Arabia. In addition, 2 of the 5 martyrs of Shia Islam have connections to Iran. Shahid Tani lived in Iran later in life, and Qazi Nurullah Shastari was born in Iran. The predominant school of theology, practice, and jurisprudence in Shia Islam is Jafari, established by Jafar as-Sadiq. Sunni Islam. Sunni Muslims are the second largest religious group in Iran. Specifically, Sunni Islam came to rule in Iran after the period Sunni were distinguished from Shia through the Ghaznavids from 975 AD, followed by the Great Seljuk Empire and the Khwarezm Shah dynasty until the Mongol invasion of Iran. Sunni Islam returned to rule when Ghazan converted. About 9% of the Iranian population are Sunni Muslims, mostly Laristani people from Laristan, Kurds in the northwest, Arabs and Baluch in the southwest and southeast, and a smaller number of Persians, Pashtuns and Turkmens in the northeast. Sunni websites and organizations complain about the absence of any official records regarding their community and believe their number is much greater than what is usually estimated. Demographic changes have become an issue for both sides. Scholars on either side speak about the increase in the Sunni population and usually issue predictions regarding demographic changes in the country. One prediction, for example, claims that the Sunnis will be the majority in Iran by 2030. The mountainous region of Laristan is mostly inhabited by indigenous Sunni Persians who did not convert to Shia Islam during the Safavids because the mountainous region of Laristan was too isolated. The majority of Laristani people are Sunni Muslims. 30% of Laristani people are Shia Muslims. The people of Laristan speak the Lari language, which is a southwestern Iranian language closely related to Old Persian and Uri. Sunni Laristani Iranians migrated to the Arab states of the Persian Gulf in large numbers in the late 19th century. Some Sunni Emirati, Bahraini and Kuwaiti citizens are of Laristani ancestry. Iran's Ministry of Health announced that all family planning programs and procedures would be suspended. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei called on women to have more children to boost the country's population to 150 to 200 million. Contraceptive policy made sense 20 years ago, he said, but its continuation in later years was wrong. Numerous speculations have been given for this change in policy, that it was an attempt to show the world that Iran is not suffering from sanctions, to avoid an aging population with rising medical and social security costs, or to return to Iran's genuine culture. Some speculate that the new policy seeks to address the supreme leader's concerns that Iran's Sunni population is growing much faster than its Shia one. The predominant school of theology and jurisprudence among Sunnis in Iran is Hanafi, established by Abu Hanifa. According to Medical-Aji, Salafi Islamic thoughts have been on the rise in Iran in recent years. Salafism alongside extremist Gulat Shia sects has become popular amongst some Iranian youth, who connect through social media and underground organizations. The Iranian regime views Salafism as a threat and does not allow Sunnis to build mosques in Tehran or other large cities due to the fear that these mosques could be infiltrated by Salafis. It is reported that members of religious minorities, especially Sunni Muslims, are increasingly persecuted by authorities. The government imprisons, harasses and discriminates people because of their religious beliefs. Sufi Islam. The Safavi Sufi order originates during the circa Safavid dynasty circa 700 AD. A later order in Persia is the Chishti. The Ni'matullahi, the largest Shia Sufi order active throughout Iran, and there is the Naqshbandi, a Sunni order active mostly in the Kurdish regions of Iran. The Ovisi Shammar Saudi order is the largest Iranian Sufi order which currently operates outside of Iran. Famous Sufis include Al-Farabi, Al-Ghazali, Jalal ad-Din Rumi and Hafiz. Rumi's two major works, Divan-i-Shams and Matnawi-Manawi, are considered by some to be the greatest works of Sufi mysticism and literature. Since the 1979 revolution, Sufi practices have been repressed by the Islamic Republic, forcing some Sufi leaders into exile. While no official statistics are available for Sufi groups, there are reports that estimate their population between 2 and 5 million.